everybody! Welcome to Dustin's Vinyl. Welcome to the show.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Adam, Anthony, and Jeff's Vinyl.
Yeah, no Dustin, huh?
We are without Dustin today. Dustin had some personal business he had to take care of. So we are going to attempt to hold down the fort. So how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, hot out there in LA right now?
Oh, yeah, it's real hot.
Yeah,
Humid. Hot and humid.
See, it's been pretty nice here the last couple of days. In fact, in the evening, it has been like in the mid 60s.
Oh, well, let's check back in December and see where you want to be.
I live in the now, Anthony. Yeah, so I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but everything is going pretty good here. I love Adam's shirt.
Yep. Dark
yeah,
Side of the
Pink
Moon.
Floyd. Yeah. That's my favorite one, Dark Side of the Moon. Everybody loves The Wall. I don't care for The Wall. Dark Side of the Moon's the one.
You don't care for it?
I don't love it.
Wow.
I think it's the production sounds like too 80s.
I mean, wow, I don't know how you can say that when you think about okay, so take a song like Comfortably Numb.
That song's great. Okay, there's a couple of exceptions. But
the lead in it is insane. I think when you take a song like Run Like Hell, Into the Flesh, I mean, there are so many songs. Maybe over time, it feels a little played out or a little played.
It's long. It's a little long.
It's long, but think about it.
The production is not my favorite. I don't like the sound of the album.
Wow.
So it's a little off-putting for me.
Yeah, it's off-putting? No.
Yeah. Compared to Dark Side of the Moon, which is like perfect.
I mean, Dark Side of the Moon, I think, is a Desert Island top 5 any genre album. I think when you look at, I think we've done this before on shows, Adam, but I think when you look at bands that have put out 2 consecutive albums, I think Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here.
Yeah.
I think you would have to really, you would really have to search to find me 3 that are going to top that. I think when you go 3 albums, I've always maintained it was Springsteen doing Born to Run, Dark Side of the Moon, and
Darkness on the Edge of Town.
In the River.
Right.
Well,
Pink Floyd also. So you got Dark Side of the Moon. You got Wish You Were Here right after that. You have Animals after that, which is a pretty good album too. And then
but if you would have thrown in Adam, sorry, but if you would have thrown in The Wall after Animals, I think that would be the top 3. I think Animals, though it's a good album, I think commercially didn't sell like the Wall.
Oh, you take that into. I forgot because you worked in the biz.
I do.
You always take into. That's always like a negative for you. If it didn't sell well, you're like, well, you can't consider it one of the greats. You would have been one of those guys years ago that would have been like Pinkerton. What a waste of time that was. Didn't even sell.
But on the flip side, it did. It took a while. It took about 3 years for it to find its audience, but eventually
initially
it
was a flop. So you
would
have
been
like,
right away. Back in those days, right? A band might have had, if it was your first album and you didn't sell, you would drop right away for the most part, unless they really believed in you. Okay, you certainly didn't get paid.
No,
and you're probably and you were probably working in the red.
But what changed? Because I don't know if it was something that was happening while you were a suit. But if you go back, so we're talking Pinkerton '96. But if you go back to when Led Zeppelin was first putting out albums, the record label gave them 3 chances. The first album didn't sell. Second album didn't sell. The label was "Come on, we believe in you guys."
You had to make your money, and you make your money. I'll give you an example. So there was a band. You're not going to know the name of this band. They were called New Man. You guys know New Man?
No.
Not Newman. New Man.
New Man.
And they had won This is in the 80s. They had won, I think, the Best of Boston, and they were like really hype, and everyone was, the A&R guys were expecting big things out of them, and they put money. And the way it would work is, Anthony, like say we sign you, and we assign you a number, and you have a budget, and you got to make back on your budget. Now you can spend it any way you want. You can play all the instruments and pay yourself. You can pay some great musicians. You could exceed the budget, okay? And you can either take your bicycle to the studio, or you can take car service, or you can take a limo. You can order in, or you can have someone cook for you and save yourself. Okay, you're going to spend the money the way you're going to spend the money, and you're going to send the receipts into the into the record company, which is where I came in. Okay, but here's the thing. Suppose your budget's $1 million and you want, say, $1.5 million. You're not seeing a penny until we make $1.5 million back. Now, Newman was supposed to make, be at least a gold record, which would have been 500,000 copies. I think in total they may have sold about 16 to 20,000. They don't make their money back. The record company loses faith in them, and they're done. You never hear from them again. I'm sure the musicians go on and either become studio musicians, or they bounce around and go into other bands. But this happens all the time about bands you never saw. If it's a band that you see potential, I mean, with Zeppelin, Page already had this great reputation. John Paul Jones was the most sought out studio musician, and Plant was the talent was obvious. So
but
they
still,
were going to be
weren't
successful.
at least 2 albums didn't sell well. So why?
It sold well enough.
But I think if those albums came out in the 90s or like today, they would have been dropped.
Well, I think today the whole record business is completely different. And it's different because back in those days, you put out an album and that's how you made your money. And you toured to support that money because you got points on the album. So if you were a guy, like there was a bidding war after, suppose like it was like I worked for CBS, which was Columbia, Epic, Associated Labels. Competition was record labels like Atlantic, Warner Brothers. Okay, suppose we're in competition with you. We want to grab you. We may give you a 3-record deal. So you have time to find your legs a little bit. I mean, that's what happened with what happened with Billy Squier.
Yeah,
the famous Billy Squier.
Billy Squier.
Yeah, the first album, it didn't sell the way they had hoped, but there was potential there. They saw the potential. They saw the talent was
until
obvious.
he started dancing in his music videos.
That's right, and I really wish I sat in on that show last
Then
week.
they lost all faith. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about how it's not really a conspiracy theory.
You know what? I was on Jameson's show last night, and we brought that up
About the video.
About the video and how the video did ruin his career. I mean, listen, you could say he got money and royalties because he was sampled, but he would have gotten that anyway. But again, that last album, Emotions Emotion, went to number 11. The next highest charting album he had after that was 61. And he only come up with another album since. He only had 2 albums, and that's it. He's done. Ruined him.
Don't make music videos, folks. That's the takeaway.
Just play. Right? Just play. If you're not sure of the concept, just play. But whatever you do, don't keep your fingers and elbows by your side. And just...
What do you think of this? You guys shooting this? You shooting this? Get how many cameras you got on me right now?
Great stuff. What do we have for random polls this week, gentlemen?
All right, let's see. So I'm going to start out with one for Anthony, one we were talking about last week. I'm going to go with Pavement, Bright in the Corners.
Oh, nice.
And so I think
favorites.
this is this one and Wowie Zowie, I think. But
love it.
Wait, is that the album that you guys talked about last week? Anthony's song, "Cut Your Hair"?
No, that was Crooked Looks. Crooked Rain. This is Bright in the Corners. This has Shady Lane, which I think outside of Cut Your Hair was probably their second most known song.
Yeah. That's a
It's
great
got,
song.
yeah, it's got Stereo, Date with IKEA, great Pavement record. And all right, we got one for,
Where are you getting this stuff from, Adam?
this stuff is mostly record stores. I have a couple
You think?
Amazon.
I thought you went to IKEA and got it. Yeah, what record store did you get it from? Give
Oh,
them a
I think
plug.
that. All right, yeah, I think that one was. That might have been Tunes. Tunes in
Tunes.
Hoboken, which
Oh, is that the one that's on that same street as that pizza place where you get the giant slices?
yeah, Benny
know what I'm talking
Tudino's. Yep.
Yeah, okay, I know that record store. That's a great record store.
I think the way you describe that pizzeria is called Anytown, New Jersey.
Right.
No, they're gigantic.
Yeah, it's Benny Tudino's. They have just
like bigger than
massive
my head.
slices.
That's so cool that Anthony knows that.
Yeah, I love that place.
Wow.
I used to hang out at Hoboken. A little bit. I mean, not all the time.
Hoboken's cool, it's just a pain in the neck to get to.
Well, I had a car at that time.
Even with the car, there's no parking.
Yeah,
have
you
to
gotta
do-
have a permit.
You ever do shows in Hoboken?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun.
I don't know
but
where I
it's just-
parked. I think I just parked like in a supermarket parking lot and just like hoped for the best.
Yeah, I think I parked in Staten Island and walked.
Well, Hoboken used to have Maxwell's, which was
Right.
considered one of the greatest small venues in the country.
Yeah.
And they shut it down. I think it was early 2010 or somewhere a little bit after. Maybe it was like 2013, because there was no place to park, and there was a problem with a lot of artists getting their vans towed, or it was tough getting people out there.
That was the problem. Or you would get out there, like you said, nobody could park. A lot of shows. I remember a lot of comedy shows that get canceled.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that was where Springsteen filmed Glory Days, the video. Nirvana played there. Nirvana had something filmed there. The Replacements played there. They had there's a Replacements album live from Maxwell's. A lot of big a lot of big bands played there.
Yeah, and who was it? I used to see play there a lot. What was that guy? He did the movie soundtrack for. Did you ever see the Farley Brothers movie Kingpin?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I just watched that like a couple weeks
Okay.
ago. I mean,
the
I saw it in the '90s, but I just watched it again.
Yeah, the song was Bad Reputation. Freddie Johnson. Freddie Johnson was great. He was, just like the quintessential singer-songwriter with, with a guitar, nothing, no big setup, no keyboards, not overly produced, but they were such like dark, melancholy, great songs.
I don't remember him in the movie.
I'm telling you, if I put on the songs, it'll
Yeah.
take you back to the scenes, like the scene when he's looking at the bowling pin and he's going, he's going back. Kingpin's a great movie.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's
not
a lot there's a lot of really slap your knee moments in it, but the sad part, Munson's backstory. Okay, when they're illustrating that's Freddie Johnson.
Oh, okay.
What else you
Watch
got?
it again now.
Yeah. All right, so this is a recent pickup. This is one that I think this came out in maybe like 85. I think 85. This was a band that became big from the Breakfast Club. Don't You Forget About Me. This is their album right after it. Simple Minds. Once Upon a Time. This has got
All the things she said, right?
All the Things She Said, Alive and
Great
Kicking,
song.
Sanctify Yourself. I really always really loved Alive and Kicking. It was actually a really great needle drop on Eastbound and Down on I think it was the finale, series finale. But I also bought this because it's got, you see right there, it's got Nobody Beats the Wiz, little sticker right there.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
remember Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Yep.
Used to hang
That's
there
a
all
very
the time.
underrated album.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, so I gotta find all right, here we go. So Jeff, a while back, you said you used to listen to Rush 2112, and you and your friends.
Story with that.
Yeah, you and your friends used to just beat each other up listening to it, right?
Yeah, what we used to do was we would smoke a bowl.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we would go into. It's gonna sound so. It's not gonna come out the way I wanted to. We would go into his. There'd be 4 of us, and we'd go into his parents' bedroom. And they had this big bed. We would shut the lights, put on 2112, and fight. And the goal was
Fight.
and the goal was to be like the last person standing. And like you would get like punched in the head. You would get punched in the I mean, you didn't know where the punches were coming from because 1, we were stoned, and 2nd, it would be like pitch dark. And you would just like try and throw someone off the bed.
Wow.
That was like our wrestling ring.
Was it like was that your did you have entrance music? Like did you make a big entrance like the wrestlers do? Like yeah, and the song's playing
No,
and you come
because
down
here's
to
the
the
thing.
ring?
No, none of us were really into WWF at the time, and it was WWF. Okay,
Mhm.
but we
Yeah,
were just
yeah.
into smoking pot and fighting.
Right.
Okay.
Does it get? If we were eating pizza, that would be the most Staten Island thing you can do.
All right,
like
so but no, I bring that up because this is the album me and my friends used to drink beer in high school and beat each other up to. Rage Against the Machine.
Oh.
The first one.
The first
a
one,
great
self-titled one, yeah. And this one, I think it just 20th anniversary, so it just came out. Got this one on Amazon. This one's got it's got Freedom, it's got Bomb Track on it. Bullet in the Head, Killing the Name of, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great album to get fired up to.
That's a good one. I was today just listening to Evil Empire, so it's interesting.
That's great.
Oh yeah.
They don't have a bad album.
Maybe the one. What's the one with the covers?
Oh,
That don't count.
Yeah. Okay, that doesn't count. All right, then they don't have a bad one.
Wait, so they
Yeah,
had three good ones, right? It was the self-titled, Evil Empire, and then Battle of Los Angeles. I think was the
Yeah.
Really, if you think about it, they don't have a deep catalog. It's
No.
kind of like seeing like Poison or Nirvana. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that bands have these big reputations, but when
Yeah.
you even Guns N' Roses, but if they were to play live, they really can't mix up the set list too much because there's not a lot to choose from.
No. Appetite for Destruction, Use Your Illusion, and that's
Illusion.
about it.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Maybe
Lies is
Patience.
basically covers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you got, Ant?
Okay, let's see. What do I have over here? I have. Jeff loves this band. I got an album by the Breeders. I don't think I've ever showed this one. Have I? Mountain Battles. Have I showed this one to you guys
Nah.
on the podcast?
I
This is
think
the
you
one that
did,
came
but I
out-
may have blocked it out of my memory.
This came out after Title TK. Same lineup as the Title TK album. This is my favorite Breeders lineup. Those 2 albums. This came out in 2008, I believe. And I have this. I didn't know. Okay, so this is a Parquet Courts album. This is called what is this? Monastic Living. And I liked the artwork. It's pretty cool. Got some pretty cool artwork. So, and I really enjoy Parquet Courts. So I brought this home. I put it on, and it's just noise. It's like experimental noise jams the whole way through. So I was hoping they had some songs on this
Yeah.
one. But no songs on this one, just noise.
When
I
you-
like that they do that, but I wish they should put on there should be a sticker that says this is just noise.
when you brought up the album and
Yeah.
I saw the colors, I thought you were gonna really throw like a total 180 in here. I thought that was gonna be Adam. Tell me you don't see it. Like just look at half the album. I thought that was going to be Genesis Abacab.
Oh, Genesis. Yeah.
And I was like,
I know
wow,
what you're talking
Anthony
about.
is going to actually do something commercial that may have made a little bit of money that more than 100 people listened to.
Also, maybe almost looks like, I know, completely different, but maybe almost looks like the Invisible Touch Genesis
Yeah, yeah,
album,
that's what it was.
which I
Invisible
actually
Touch.
really like.
Yeah, but of course it has to
Actually,
be Parquet Courts.
well, I would, I don't have it, but I would buy Invisible Touch on vinyl. I know it's lame, but I got a soft spot for that
Same
album.
here.
I like Genesis better than Phil Collins solo.
I think I like that one album more than
That
him
one album,
solo,
the
I
one with
think.
Susudio or the one with
No Jacket Required or Face Value.
Oh well, I mean, Invisible Touch. I like that album more than his solo stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
Or-
It's a great album.
Well, speaking of Genesis, there we go.
Oh,
Wow, that's so.
Yeah. So,
That's
great album.
Peter Gabriel. I mean, this is a perfect album, front to
Does
back.
that have Sledgehammer?
Yep. Second song on here, Sledgehammer. You
Man,
got
that's a
Red
great
Rain.
song.
You got Big Time. You got In Your Eyes. This is a great, absolutely great album.
I don't think
Think
I've
of-
ever listened to the album all the way through. I gotta check it out because
Think
I
about
love
that.
Sledgehammer.
You named 3 tracks before you got to In Your Eyes, and all of them were huge hits. So that just goes to show you what a big album that
It's
was.
all about hits with you.
And this
You
this
got, you
has,
got to make money. That's the reason, Anthony, they call it show business.
They don't call it show losing money.
Wait, this one's got Don't Give Up on it, which I think is Kate Bush, right? Is that
Is it?
Yeah, I think. Let me see.
This is going to sound really good for the people listening to this on
Yeah,
on
special
Spotify.
thanks to Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just listening to nothing. I have this one. Have I ever showed this one on the show? Document
No.
REM.
No, that's another good one. Love REM.
One of my favorite REM albums. This I don't know. I bought this at
Name
a
the
flea
hits.
market. The hits, End of the World. It's the End of the World as we know it. The One I Love.
Those are 2 big hits.
Those are probably the biggest hits on here.
Yeah, see, that album made money.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a rare copy. I don't know. Master disc etched. I don't know. Something's etched, but I don't see it.
It could have been a promotional album.
It might be promotional.
Yeah, because
But,
sometimes they're giving away to the record stations, colleges, and that's what usually etched would be.
But it looks like it's an original press from the 80s.
Those are some pretty good pulls you guys just had right now.
Yeah.
So it is summertime, and we'll kind of like do the back half of this show, really talking about like the summer. When you think about summertime and music, you think about summer concerts. And I just wanted to go over like some of the summer concerts that I saw, and then talk about what maybe you guys had seen and what you think about when it comes to summer concerts. So since we've been on the air together, I saw a bunch of bands, because they were like these kind of like package shows. So the first one was I saw the Bret Michaels Party Gras, and it really is like what you think it is. It's a lot of fun. It's high energy. It's bands doing like their best stuff. And to kick things off, you had the Jefferson Starship,
Okay.
and okay, but you have one original member who was in the airplane, and that is 84-year-old rhythm guitarist David Freeberg. Okay, he's still in the band, and he's playing and he's singing like the like when they do the Jefferson Starship stuff or just Starship stuff. He's singing the Mickey Thomas parts, which Mickey Thomas is one of the all-time great voices. And listen, the guy's 84 years old. God bless him, they're still doing it, but he's not doing justice to these songs. And and then by comparison, you have the kid in the group, Donald Baldwin, who is 72 years old, who's playing drums.
Wow.
But then you got the neophyte who's in her 50s, Kathy Richardson, who's singing all the Grace Slick parts.
Yep.
And she is great. She has this total Janis Joplin vibe. They come out, they do maybe 6, 7 songs. You know every single one of them. And they were pretty decent.
Wait, they only do 6 or 7 songs?
They go
That's the
6
whole
or
show?
No, for them, their set. And then it's a quick turnover, and then you have Night Ranger coming out. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, yeah, because it's like a big festival. Everybody's doing like
right.
30 minutes or something.
yeah, so you have Night Ranger, which is still you got the original guys and Jack Blades and Brad Gillis and
Ranger. What
Kelly
did they do?
Keegley. Well, their big
Night
hits
Ranger.
were When You Close Your Eyes, Sister Christian,
Oh, Sister Christian. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Tell Me You Love Me.
The
And
drummer
let me
wrote
tell you-
that one.
Huh?
The drummer wrote Sister Christian.
About his sister. No, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. No, and then they did some Damn Yankee stuff. They did High Enough. They did another one. I wish they would have done Come Again, but they didn't do that. Did Coming of Age? They did, which was pretty good. But they were great. They were one of the most surprising bands I've seen in a long time. That these guys are in their late 50s and they are still running around the stage and they sound better than they've ever done before. I mean, Brad Gillis, I mean, people just don't talk about him enough as a guitar player. You may have known him in the 80s. He was the first guitar player filled in after Randy Rhoads passed away.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's really accomplished, and he's been in Night Ranger ever since. And they are really just a tight band with a lot of hit songs. And they came out and they do about 8 songs, and then they're done. And then Bret Michaels comes on, and what he does, he's not doing like a full, like he'll come out and do 3 songs. Then he brings Mark McGrath out from Sugar Ray, who does he comes out and does Every Morning. Okay,
Every morning. And then
he comes
Fly.
out and then he comes back later on and does it. Okay, but then he does his 1 song, he leaves. Brett comes back on, does another 2 songs, brings Steve Algeri out, who used to sing in Journey. For, after Steve Perry, and he does Separate Ways. Brett comes back on, does another couple of songs, brings Steve back on, and he does 2 more Journey songs, including the big one. What's the Soprano song again?
Don't
Stop Believing.
Don't Stop Believing. And it's that and Any Way You Want It, and the place is going crazy. It's going crazy. And then at the end, everybody comes on, all the bands. Night Ranger, Steve Algeri, Mark McGrath, Starship, the Impractical Jokers come out, Jameson, Eddie Trunk. They're all out on stage and everyone's jamming and they're doing Sweet Home Alabama to end the show. Now I loved it. This is Anthony's worst nightmare. Okay.
Yeah. You got Journey. You got Sweet Home Alabama.
Right. This is not for you.
This is where I go, ooh, let's beat the traffic. Let's get out of here.
Now, I kind of did that. Once I saw it, I was like, I did beat the traffic. And then last week, I got to see Howard Jones. Do you know who Howard Jones is?
Yeah.
No.
Howard Jones was...
I was going to say, he did Everlasting Love. He did...
oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh, what was the...
it's a great song.
Things Can Only Get Better.
Things Can Only Get Better. I thought his highlights were with songs like What Is Love?
Yep.
No One Is to Blame. Okay? Now, I'm watching the show, and he opens up. Now, the show's supposed to start at 7. He comes on at 6:50. And... Okay, because he wanted to start early, and he's the first band on, but he's going to play longer than the middle band. Now, I was in the Live Nation VIP area. I was in that tent, having like a great time, and all of a sudden, like, he's not starting to speak already, is he? I was like, is that a recording? And like you can see on the screen, Howard Jones comes out. So I kind of rush over and I go to watch the show. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, man, this bass player seems so familiar. And it was Nick Biggs. Do you guys know who Nick Biggs is?
Nope, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick Biggs used to be in a band called Kajagoogoo. And
Okay.
Kajagoogoo had a monster hit with a song called "Too Shy."
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a musician, Anthony, that bass line is considered one of the most complex bass lines to play in pop.
And Too
And
Shy?
yeah, listen to the
Hmm.
go on YouTube and watch bass players try to cover it and talk about it, and they all really fawn over what a great bass line this is. And I'm watching them, and that's who it was. Nick Biggs is in the band, and they wound up doing "Too Shy."
Oh, that's pretty
Um,
cool.
that
I
was
don't remember the
really
bass line in that song, but I gotta check it out.
Yeah, I wish we could play it on here that because I would love to get your analysis on it. So he does his set. He does maybe about 40 minutes, and then Berlin comes on.
Oh, Berlin.
She still sounds and looks tremendous. And that band, I don't know if they got younger or if they, I don't know what it was, but they play hard. Now I wish Dustin was here because they did the Metro, which is my favorite song. They
I
opened
love
up
that
with
song.
Masquerade, but you know what they did the second to last song? She Sells Sanctuary,
Oh wow.
the Cult.
Oh, the Cult.
Yeah, they rock it, and it wasn't like some like watered down version of the song. It was just as hard as the Cult plays it. They were really good. And then closing the show, which was the headliner, which was the most disappointing band of the night, Culture Club.
Oh, Culture
And
Club. It's Boy George.
yeah, who could
Yeah.
still sing? Sings
Yeah.
in a little different case. And listen, guys in his late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
Okay, looks great. Um, Still could sing, but sings a little bit low. So some of the arrangements were a little different,
Yeah.
especially "Do You Want to Hurt Me?" But "Comma Chameleon" and "Time" were two songs that really kind of stood out to me. And this weekend is going to be my first weekend since I can't even think that I am not doing comedy. But Friday night I am doing Metallica with who are the bands on that show? Do you remember, Adam?
Pantera and Mammoth.
Yeah. Well, let's go
Mammoth.
Pantera, okay?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
yeah,
There's nobody. Who's just a singer, right?
it's the singer and the bass player, and who's it? Jake Wild, right? Zach Wild,
Zach
Oh,
Wild.
Zach Wild. Yeah. I think I
Zach
heard
Wild,
he was.
and the drummer from Anthrax are in the band.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost kind of like a Pantera tribute band in a way.
Yeah, they shouldn't call it. I mean, whatever. People are
But
excited to go, so call it
I
whatever you
mean,
want.
and again, I wish Dustin was here because doing shows with Dustin when they have walk up music, he usually
Yeah.
walks up to a Pantera song.
Walk.
No,
Oh,
come
I
on,
mean
man,
that's perfect. What song do you want to
You-
walk up to? Walk.
if it's Dustin, it's Cowboys from Hell.
Da-da-da. Oh, all right, Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
The other one- the
Saturday
other one.
night, yeah, and then Saturday night, I'm bringing up and hosting the Smithereens at Audie's in Frenchtown.
Oh, who also are not the original Smithereens.
No, but who the singer is on Saturday
Forget
night?
who is it? Who
Well,
they
they flip flop on
Oh,
this show. It's
oh,
going
they
to
have
be
the
March.
Gym Blossoms guy sometimes.
Well, that's who I saw him with a couple of months ago, but this time it's going to be Marshall Crenshaw.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, so that's
like the
my summer.
Smithereens.
Yeah, so that's my summer music so far. What are you guys doing as far as live music? No, everyone
got
don't
one?
jump into that.
You
Adam,
got
come on, Adam,
well,
didn't
yeah,
you just see some? Go ahead. You
Yeah,
saw
well, I
this-
mean,
go ahead. Tell me who you saw.
Well, yeah, I saw the Struts. We were talking about that on the
There you
last
go.
show.
Okay.
And you know what? I actually wanted to get your opinion on this too. What's the? I can't believe I'm completely blanking on this. But what's the name of the lead singer of the Struts?
What's
Jimmy
his
Strutt.
name? No. I'm thinking Julian Casablancas, but it's not.
No, that's the
Strokes.
Strokes.
That's the
Yeah.
Strokes.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Named after the Billy Squire song.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
You know, we had the same problem last week. I should have remembered this.
I think
You should have
Dustin
wrote
knew
this
his
down.
name.
Yeah.
Luke.
But-
Luke Spiller.
I
It's Luke.
I think that's right. That
I'm-
sounds.
I know it's right.
Yeah.
But he's still
He's still looking it up.
he's still looking it up.
it's
I
It's
think
Luke.
that's right. It's Luke.
All right, I can't find it, but yeah, I think
It's
you're
Luke.
right. No, so he comes back out on stage toward so Luke comes out towards the end of the show. He comes out solo and he sits at the piano. He's got a little Freddie Mercury kind of like little Funko Pop sitting on the piano. He talks about how they formed in 2015, and it's been like a hard road for them because rock music in 2015 wasn't really, there wasn't much at that point. Everything was kind of more hip hop or pop, around that time. But we had that kind of revival that I thought there was more interest in rock towards maybe like 2018, 2019, like right before the pandemic. Now that he said they're starting to build up their audience, and but the thing is, like, I'm wondering, like, do you think they would have been a bigger band if they had come out, say, like mid 2000s when you had bands like the Hives, or you had bands like the Darkness, or or now I guess you should really have just kind of Greta Van Fleet in terms of like this kind of sound.
I think they would, if they came out in 2005, I think they would be rivaling Foo Fighters as a major arena act, because they have everything. They have the songs, they have the look, they have the front man. They don't have a bad album. I really think they are the full package. They're a band that I think, along with another band like Rival Sons, that I just don't get why they're not bigger. I think a band like Dirty Honey is Aerosmith. Greta Van Fleet is Zeppelin. I think the Struts are like the reincarnation of Queen. And I think Luke is Freddie Mercury. And if you're going to use a comparison, I think all these bands should be much bigger than they are.
Yeah, I think that they could have, if they had come out around 2005, they would have rivaled the Killers. I think that would be probably a closer comparison too. Because it is one of those bands that kind of they probably would have crossed over into like more mainstream appeal. But it's a great. I mean, they played at Pier 17, which is an incredible venue. You got
Why is that a good
Bridge.
venue?
So it's at the top of I think it's on the top of the South Street Seaport. You have behind them, because you have no you have no backdrop, so the backdrop is the actual Brooklyn Bridge back there, and it's just such an incredible sight to see. I mean, I think like probably the best outdoor for scenery, probably the best outdoor venue in New York City.
And what does it hold?
Concert goers mostly.
Right. It's got to be. I'm trying to think of how many it's got to. It's.
It looks small.
It is pretty small. It's.
Does it hold 5,000?
No. It's got to be less than 5,000. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a rooftop.
Like,
it
looks like a rooftop.
Yeah.
Does it hold 2,000?
I would say, how many does Irving Plaza hold?
Irving Plaza holds about, I'm going to say close to 2,000.
Probably around the same. Maybe
because you got
more.
The floor and you got a balcony.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably in that range. Maybe a little bit more. It's definitely not a Terminal 5, or it's not
The Terminal 5 has like 3 floors.
Yeah, or like Brooklyn Steel.
I am just shocked that they played that venue. I mean, because I think they're a bigger band than that.
Oh yeah. And I had that feeling too, like being there. It was that like, okay, this might be one of the last times you get to see the Struts on like on a stage this small.
Did they do multiple shows there?
No, that was the only one.
In fact, I think most artists only do one. Diana Ross played there 2 years ago.
Wow. So it's just for like the exclusivity of it.
I think that's what it is. You'll get some stand up there. You'll get like older artists, and then you'll get emerging artists who play there. It's a real. They do a real good job booking that venue. It's a very, very different type of lineup than say what PNC and what Jones Beach brings in for an outdoor summer show. What about you, Ant? Anything going on in LA, music wise, that you're going to see? Soar?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to think if there's a summer. I haven't been to any concerts, which is I've played some, but I haven't been just to watch. One that I'll probably end up going in the fall, but it's happening this summer as well in Las Vegas. The B-52s are doing their
Oh, farewell.
residency. I mean, I guess the tour part of it is over already, but they're doing a residency into the fall in Vegas. So I was thinking of going to that. I didn't want to go in the summer just because it's so hot in Vegas. So I was thinking maybe September might be a little bit better. What's the other one? I think it's not happening till like October. But as far as LA shows, I think the Breeders are coming. They're touring. They're doing the 30th
Why does this
anniversary.
band always come up?
Because I love them. They're one of my favorite bands. But it's the 30th anniversary of the last Splash album. So I think they're playing. I live sort of near the Wiltern Theater, and I think that's where they're playing.
How big a venue is that?
I'm not sure. It might also be like 2,000. It's just like an old theater.
You know, if you come out here in the fall, I saw in October, Morrissey's doing 4 shows. I love Morrissey.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Smith fan. I
like one song. I like Panic. I really like that song.
That doesn't even make my top 10. I don't know if it makes I don't know if it makes my top 20 Smith songs.
Wow.
I love the Smith. I mean, you know what I listen to.
Yeah.
But I think the Smiths are in my top 10 of all time bands.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's how high they are. I love them, and I love Morrissey. I was obsessed by Morrissey when I was a kid. All right, so
you know who else is doing a residency out here? And I was actually just trying to pull it up to see when it is, but I think it's either in September, late September, early October. It's September. 4-show run at Brooklyn Steel Pavement.
Whoa.
Oh, there you go.
Pavement. Are
You
they
gotta
coming
come
to
out.
LA? Are they coming to LA at all?
No, I think they already played LA. They only have a few tour dates left, and
no, I missed them in LA.
Yeah, so 4 dates: Brooklyn Steel, September 11th to the 14th.
Never forget.
Listen, man, Dustin and Nate are doing Radio City early October. Why don't you come out to New York a little earlier and catch those shows?
Maybe.
And then do some shows. Yeah, I'll get you some spots.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have a whole thing.
I do have a whole thing going on. Okay, so this is how we end this show. Okay, we still have a little bit of time, but this may take a minute. All right.
Yeah.
So I went on the computer and I looked at Rolling Stone's top 10 summer songs. And listen, I hate Rolling Stone, but I may have gone up another level of how much I can't stand this fucking magazine and their
so
dumb
you don't
lists.
Like this list.
I do not like this list, and I am really, really curious to see what you guys think of this summer list. Okay, so these are the top 10. These are the top 10 of all time. Top 10 of all time summer songs.
I can't.
You ready for number 10?
I'm ready.
The first couple I don't think we have a problem with. As the list grows, it's going to become more and more annoying. Here we go. Summer song number 10, Ramones, Rockaway Beach.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay,
It's one
great
of my
song.
go-tos.
No one has a problem with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great song. It does make you think of the summer. I remember like
Summer song, yeah.
growing up, barbecues, pool parties, someone would throw on a Ramones record. This always makes you think about it. Radio stations would play it. Great summer song. Number 9. Can't argue with this one either. Beach Boys, California Girls.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Can't. Happy to
Quintessential.
argue. Yeah.
Right?
Summer song.
There was some song band. There was the
Oh, yeah.
early Beach Boys. This is before he kind of gets all crazy with pet sounds and sounds. It's fun. It's light. You're hanging out. You're drinking a lemonade, Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well,
I'm into it. Uh,
What'd you say?
I was gonna say. I mean, I was gonna say I love Pet Sounds, but if we're talking summer songs,
Talking summer songs, having a
that
good time,
you
wearing
can't top it.
shorts.
You can't top
No,
it.
you can't.
Well, like
Number
even
8.
even though right after Pet Sounds, you had Good Vibrations, which I think is
Oh
still
yeah,
a perfect summer song too.
that's
Even
a
Great
that's
great.
summer song.
Yeah, okay. Good Vibrations maybe could have topped, but I don't know. California,
They also
yeah,
use
California Girls is.
they also use Good Vibrations in a Sunkist commercial where people are at the beach drinking Sunkist, okay, playing with a beach ball. So maybe the visual kind of like subconsciously gets into your head about Good Vibrations. But California Girls also, David Lee Roth
Yep.
covered it in the summertime. Okay,
Yeah, zippity
so
bop, zippity bop.
different song, but
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but he did it that way.
He did do it that way, and his video for California Girls is great. Okay, number 8. I don't think we argue with this one either. We go Alice Cooper, School's Out.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I used to always put that on the last day of school when I got
I
home.
don't think you had to. I remember. So you guys were like New York guys, right?
Yeah.
Anthony,
Yeah.
okay, you lived in New York for a while, and you went to high school out here.
Yeah.
I remember like the last day of school, you would listen to the WPLJ, and when they were still
Oh,
playing
yeah.
rock, and they would
WPLJ.
they would play this almost every hour. School's Out. I remember like leaving school, going into my friend's car, or someone would be playing this on a boombox. Like it was always on. That last day of school. It was. I mean, they must have played it on a loop. It seemed like. Okay,
It's a great song.
summer school.
Great.
Great summer song. School's Out, number 8. So we're good. 10 through 8. I think number 7 we're okay. Okay. Number 7, Eddie Cochran, Summertime Blues.
Oh yeah, okay, I know that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do the riff on that a little bit? Do you know it?
I don't know how to play it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dun-dun-dun, ba-dun-dun.
Oh yeah.
That was Adam. That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Hey, so you have no problem with this. So far, I'm looking at the list and I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy with this list. Number 6. Number 6. Now this is supposed to be in order. The
Yeah,
top-
of greatness.
Right. So I'm like, holy shit, Summertime Blues, California Girls. What is this top 5 going to be like? Well, let's get to number 6 because this is an ultimate summertime song. Martha and the Vandellas, Dancing in the Street.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, even the terrible Mick Jagger, David Bowie version.
Which might be a worse video than Billy Squire.
Right, but they get away with it.
Right.
And was it Dustin did someone on this show say it was an excuse for Bowie to sleep with
Jagger? Yeah.
Jagger. Yeah, and there was some credibility to that claim. Okay, so I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what these next 5 are gonna be. These are the best of all time. We're talking since we've been writing music and ranking songs.
Top
Okay?
5 best summer songs all time.
Okay. Are we leaving anything out? I mean, what's the Giants going to be? What's going to be the Mount Rushmore? Well, let's get to number 5. Little Nas X, Old Town Road.
Okay. Well, now that was a big hit.
It was a big hit.
Somebody like you, Jeff, should appreciate what a gigantic hit this was, coming from an unknown artist.
Okay,
At the
and
time.
I'm not going to shit on it because it was a big hit. Even I knew it. If it's not geared for me. Okay, it clearly is not geared for me on so many levels. Okay, but
Yeah.
I know the song. I'll accept it. I don't think it's better than some of these songs that are left out.
I didn't know it was a summer song. It just came out in the summer? Is that what?
It's supposed to be like the song of the summer. Some radio stations, someone like fucking Rolling Stone will deem it the song of the summer.
Okay.
This is going to be
So
the
now-
song of the summer.
So we've transitioned out of songs that reference the fact that it's summer. And now it's
That's right.
just songs that came out and were gigantic hits over a summer.
Like I'm going to give you a big summertime song that is not on the top 10 here. and I remember this was deemed the song of the summer. Remember Blurred Lines?
Yes.
Yep.
Alan Thicke.
That was a big hit.
Yeah, Robin Thicke, Alan Thicke. Yes, Robin Thicke and Pharrell. It's a great song. I mean, listen,
Creepy
could
lyrics.
I could write a great song if I just took, Marvin Gaye's songs. Yeah, I have a song coming out actually, Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
it's cool. Yeah, it's called "What's Going On Around Here." Okay, I see. It's not the same song.
It's like a mashup of What's Going On and the Counting
And
Crows song, Round Here.
Around Here. Yeah. So I
I've
just
heard it.
mashed
It's
up. And
great.
yeah, I got that coming out. Okay, but so I'm cool with that. It's the next four. Okay, but wait till we get to the top three. That's okay. So number four, I will even give you number four. This is Luis Fonsi featuring Justin Bieber and Yankee Daddy,
Bieber.
Desperado. Or what is it called?
Oh,
Despacito?
I did not like that song, but it was huge when it came out.
Huge.
Oh my
So
god.
that's why I'm not shitting on it. And I'm like, it was big. And this is how you know it's big, because it's all over the radio during the summertime. And then at the end of the summer, they used to do the MTV Music Awards, okay, or some stupid MTV award show, okay.
Yeah.
And I remember this was like the big get. Like this was like the song that was kicking off the
Man.
awards. Like this was everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand. Like, listen, you want to have a little inclusion, and you had like the old timers songs in there, and you want to put some new stuff in there. But this is where I fucking blow a gasket. The top three. These are the top
time.
three all time.
All time best summer songs.
Now, if you two don't know this artist, then this is already a bogus list. Do you guys know Sail Mail? Heat Wave, not the Martha and the Vandellas cover.
Wait.
Heat Wave.
Snail Mail.
Yeah,
Like
you know,
SN? Yeah.
you know Snail Mail.
I think it's an indie band or indie singer. I just don't know this song though.
Well, I don't know it.
Okay, so I didn't know it either, and I played it, and this could be one of the worst pieces of shit I have ever. This is.
What's the name of the song?
You got it. It's called Snail Mail Heat Wave. It is. I thought maybe that covering, an updated version of the Great Martha and the Vandellas Heat Wave. Everyone covered Heat Wave. Great song. It is not that at all. No, it's better. Wet Leg.
Wow.
Lounge.
And you do not
better.
enjoy Wet Leg.
I do not enjoy Wet Leg. Yeah, right. I do not have a soft spot in my heart for Wet Leg. I don't like Wet Leg.
I'm trying to listen to it in one ear right now, since we can't play it on the show.
Yeah, this is
I want to get
terrible.
an idea of how bad it is.
Are you doing the same thing, Adam?
No, I just know I'm looking it up right now. It's from 2018. And
So
this is...
I don't hate it so far. The vocals just came in. It doesn't sound like a. I wouldn't think of summer. It doesn't have a
No.
summer sound about
It
it.
has a shit sound. This is terrible. This
kind
is
of a
so
ballad.
bad. It shouldn't be. This is a number 3
He's
of
angry
all
about it.
time.
I
Number
would say
3
you're
of
correct
all
in
time.
being upset at this being.
Thank
It's
you.
a fine song. I would probably listen to this. I'm gonna listen to the whole thing. Oh, the drums just kicked in. Okay. You know what? Okay. I'm liking it now. The drums kicked in. They got a little guitar thing happening.
It's not a summer song.
It's not a summer song.
Summer song is
It's
light.
a good song.
It's
Okay, I'm gonna
airy.
stop
It's
it.
fun.
It's
Okay?
a good song, not a summer song. I'm gonna disagree that it's a summer song. Definitely not top 3 of all time. I'm gonna say that.
Okay. Number 2. In My Feelings, Drake.
Oh, I don't like Drake.
Neither do I. I mean, this guy is just, you know what? He's almost like a mumble rapper. He drones. He doesn't have a particularly good voice. I hate his style. Again, I know this isn't geared for me, but
Yeah,
when you're talking all time,
all time. I don't see
Right.
it.
since the 50s, where they're starting to chart records, this is the number 2 all-time song.
Nah.
And then the last one.
we got here?
This is a rough one. Yeah. This, and of course, it's going to be a collaboration where none of these people even wrote the song. There, it's a remake of the song "I Like It."
I
Okay?
like it.
Yes, and it's done by Cardi B, Bad Bunny, and J Balvin.
I don't even know the song. So there's
Yeah.
I don't know the original or the remake.
You'll know the original the
Yeah.
second you hear it. Look it up.
I like it.
Yes,
Who does the original? Oh, I guess I'm looking up this.
yeah. Just look up "I Like It." As soon as you
like
hear
it.
the opening riff,
Cardi B. Okay.
right, you will know the song "I Like It." You'll know it immediately. But of course, it has to be sampled, and then Cardi B kicks it off, and she's just the worst. Okay, and
you don't like
no,
her?
it's just garbage, man. It's just garbage. Like I'd rather hear a song by J Balvin like "Feels." I think "Feels" is a great summer song.
Oh, I like it like that. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I think Pharrell is like a genius when
Pharrell's
it comes
great.
to right.
Did he
when
do
it co-
this?
No, this is J Balvin.
Um,
Do you know the original, man?
I know the original.
Right.
I probably heard this. I don't think that the sample fits with what I'm hearing. The I like it like that stuff doesn't fit with
But
these vocals to me.
but how is this the number
Number 1 summer song.
of all time?
Rolling
summer
Stones,
song?
you done goofed.
You done goofed.
I
If
don't.
me and Anthony,
No.
if me and Anthony are agreeing on it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't love it. But you know, I'm also I'm not the audience for a lot of pretty much every artist that is on that collaboration. I'm not the target demographic. I don't think.
Listen, I didn't think I would be on the collaboration of Feels, but I think somehow it works. Who is it? Calvin Harris, J Balvin, right? Katy Perry and Pharrell. And that song I can never get enough of. That's a great song. That should have been up on the top 10.
Yeah.
It is interesting how strong that list started out, and how like just baffling some of those choices were at the end.
Exactly. Now you want it. Now you want again. You want to have inclusive of, and like with a younger generation. You want to span multiple decades. I get it. And I would put this like in the back half of the list.
Nothing from the '90s on there, I don't think.
In the '90s, no. You're either going. Let's see. Ramones '70s, Beach Boys '60s, Alice Cooper '70s, Eddie Cochran that's '50s.
50s.
Martha and the Vandellas is '60s, and then everything in the 2000s.
Just skipping out. Nobody wrote a single summer song in the '90s.
No.
All of the '90s. Didn't
the
happen.
'80s and '90s, no one wrote a good summer song.
It snowed from the end of 1989 until the year 2000.
But these were the top 10. This was the top 10.
Pretty
All right,
weak.
listen.
Pretty weak, Rolling Stone.
Pretty weak is right. All right, guys, that is Dustin's vinyl
We did
for
it.
the week. Without Dustin Chafin, who will be back next week. This was fun sitting with you guys.
Yeah, I had a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. We will catch you back next week. Continue to subscribe and follow us, and give us some comments, man. What do you want to hear? What do you want us to talk about? We're more than happy to oblige. Other than that, guys, everyone have a great week, and we will see you next week with Dustin on Dustin's Vinyl.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.